This is TomoNews for Monday, August 28th. 30 people detained at cross-border smuggling tunnel. Trump's proposed border wall might not do a lot of good if people are making their way into the country underground. A cross-border smuggling tunnel was found near the Otay Mesa port of entry in California. The tunnel reportedly begins in a building on Calle Mejo in Tijuana. Border agents were patrolling in the area on early Saturday morning when they saw a large number of men and women on the street who fled when the agents approached them. Some reportedly tried to climb back into the tunnel, leading the agents to the discovery. A total of 30 people had been detained. 23 were Chinese nationals, 7 were Mexicans. Customs and Border Patrol officials told NBC News that there has been an increase in nationals from countries other than Mexico trying to enter the U.S. illegally in the past 2 years. Hurricane Harvey couldn't keep this dog down. As Hurricane Harvey swept through the state, a lost dog in Texas showed it takes more than a raging storm to beat it. Before Hurricane Harvey's landfall Friday night, Sinton resident Salvador Segovia left his grandson's German Shepherd mix Otis in his screened-in back porch. When Segovia went back to check on Otis later, he was gone. Segovia checked his porch the next day and noticed Otis's bag of dog food was missing. Segovia went looking for the dog and was told by a neighbor they saw Otis strolling around with a bag of dog food in his mouth. Fortunately, Segovia was able to track down the dog's whereabouts and bring him home before his grandson returned. A neighbor who saw Otis thought he was a stray and took a snap of him strolling around with the dog food and uploaded it to Facebook, where the image went viral. According to Segovia, Otis is loved by the folks in Sinton, and he's been helpful to Segovia's 5-year-old grandson, who often goes to the hospital for seizures and asthma. Chemical mist hits UK beach. Dozens of UK beachgoers had to receive hospital treatment on Sunday after a chemical mist hit a popular beach. One man told the BBC that his eyes began to hurt after he went swimming in the water near Birling Gap. People began complaining about sore eyes and throats when a gaseous haze hit the popular beach area. The affected area was near Eastbourne on the South British coast. The BBC reports that similar past hazes have come from an industrial installation in France. Witnesses described it as smelling like chlorine. As of Sunday night, 133 people had received treatment. Those affected reportedly had painful eyes and throats, breathing difficulties, and some were also vomiting. Saved. Hurricane Harvey claimed one less life in Houston after a TV crew helped save a trucker from a watery death. As heavy rain submerged most of the city in floodwater on Sunday, one semi-truck driver found himself trapped inside his vehicle, which was in about 10 feet of water. A KHOU 11 news crew covering the flooding saw the truck and spotted the man stuck inside. They urged the driver to stay put while they called for help. Reporter Brandy Smith flagged down 2 sheriff's deputies who were driving past with a rescue boat and alerted them to the man's plight. Within minutes, the deputies were on a boat and pulling the driver out of his flooded vehicle to safety. Smith and her cameraman kept the video rolling during the rescue and were relieved when the man was finally back on dry land. It was an emotional rescue, especially after deputies recounted a similar incident last year, which ended in tragedy. Why are India and China at each other's throats over Bhutan? There's a Mexican standoff between Asia's 2 biggest nuclear-armed powers, and if one side so much as blinks, things could turn bad very quickly. India and Bhutan are in a heated border dispute with China over an area known as the Doklam Plateau. It is claimed by both China and Bhutan. Doklam holds strategic interest for all involved, and India backs Bhutan's claim. Tension over the disputed region has always existed, but the situation escalated in June when the Chinese military began construction work on a road extension into the area. India, at Bhutan's request, later intervened. They sent soldiers and a wrecking crew to stop Chinese construction. All sides have been at a deadlock ever since. China cites a historical claim to the area from an agreement with the British Empire in 1890. However, Bhutan and India say the claim doesn't hold merit. Doklam is near India's Siliguri corridor, which is a narrow 12-mile wide area that connects the country to its northeastern regions. In the event of a conflict with India, completion of the Chinese road in Doklam would allow China to quickly mobilize troops there and potentially sever it from neighboring areas. Completion of the road would present China with other economic and strategic advantages over India in Asia, something the latter is wary of and aims to avoid. USA rocks the World Air Guitar Championships. Once again, Americans have shown the world who's best, this time in completely dominating the World Air Guitar Championships. Matt Aristotle Burns successfully defended his title at the 22nd Air Guitar World Championships in Finland last Friday. Burns faced off against 15 other air guitar aficionados from places like South Korea, Pakistan, Sweden, Britain, Canada, and several other countries. The Air Guitar World Championship started off as a joke, but has blown up into a yearly extravaganza which brings serious air guitarists from around the planet to Finland every summer. Burns helped seal his victory by banging out a heavy metal version of I Will Survive. After watching a documentary on the subject, he was hooked. He's been honing his skills now for the past decade. Who knows what air instrument Burns will pick up next? Are yoga mats hurting your chances of getting pregnant? Researchers at Harvard University have found a potential link between products that contain certain chemicals and infertility in women. Among the products in which scientists discovered this link are yoga mats. Organophosphate flame retardants, otherwise known as PFRs, can be found in products that use polyurethane foam, such as car seats, sofas, and yoga mats. These PFRs can be absorbed by the body through physical contact, and they also migrate out of objects into the air. Researchers analyzed urine samples from 211 women and found that more than 80% of its participants had traces of PFRs in their systems. Women with higher concentrations of the chemicals are said to be 40% less likely to become pregnant or to have a live birth compared to those with lower concentrations of the chemicals. Flame retardant penta-BDE was phased out more than a decade ago after it was found to cause negative health effects. PFRs were introduced as a safer alternative. However, these latest studies have shown that the supposedly safer flame retardant may still cause hormone disruption. Cincinnati Zoo's baby hippo getting her own Facebook video series. Hip hippo hooray! Internet celebrity Fiona the baby hippo is going to be headlining her very own program, The Fiona Show. Fiona has been an internet sensation ever since her premature birth in January, when she came into this world weighing a mere 29 pounds. She now weighs a healthy 450 plus and has her own ice cream, in addition to her own craft beer. The not-too-tiny baby has also been named honorary deputy sheriff in order to help keep the Cincinnati streets safe. There's also a children's book in the works as well. The show plans to release its first video on Tuesday. The zoo hasn't said yet how many videos will be posted, nor how frequently they'll be made. But hey, the more the merrier. Brazil agrees to let people dig in the Amazon. The Brazilian government has opened up a massive chunk of the rainforest for mining purposes. Brazil has removed the protective status of the National Reserve of Copper and Associates, which straddles two northern Brazilian states. The area is 46,000 square kilometers large and is believed to be rich in gold, copper, iron, and other minerals. The government opened up 30% of the reserve and said that mining would only be permitted in areas with no conservation controls or indigenous lands. According to estimates, approximately 1 acre is destroyed every second in the Amazon, and around 20% of the rainforest has been destroyed over the past 40 years. Brazil has said it plans to open up 10% of all protected rainforest areas to mining in an attempt to stimulate growth.